Meanwhile, the best quarterback in the transfer portal just decided to take his name out of the transfer portal and put it into the NFL draft. Washington State quarterback Cam Ward declared for the NFL draft and really sunk a lot of hopes around the country. That dude was holding up the line, okay? Florida State was waiting to offer DJ Uiagalelei because they still might get Cam Ward. Miami did the same thing until they found out that Cam Ward was going to be going to the NFL draft. Then they turned their sights to one Will Howard. I could never get anybody to tell me that Cam Ward was taking a look at Ohio State or Ohio State was taking a look at Cam Ward, but you got to believe that if that dude showed up on the doorstep, you wouldn't turn down nothing from your collar. And you know what? That was kind of a thing that could happen because that's what Baker Mayfield did at Oklahoma. He just showed up one day as a walk-on, and Bob Stoops was like, yeah, sure. You can play quarterback at OU. I saw what you did at Texas Tech. But it's also a dude that has shown himself to be really a prodigious talent, like 34-48 for 438 against Oregon with a TD. 32 of 48 for 317 with 3 TDs and 2 picks against Washington. 2 of the best teams in the country. Certainly one of the best teams in the country in the Apple Cup in Washington. Some folks thought that dude was really courting nearly a dozen $1 million plus offers in NIL deals to go play quarterback at said university, said program. Knowing what we know about how Miami has gotten down in recent years, the alumni at USC and how deep their pockets go, you could see how, yeah, okay, cool. And then add to this, Nebraska head coach Matt Rule had said, hey, just so we're being clear, a good quarterback out of the portal is going to cost $1.52 million. Okay, if you think that Cam Ward is the best of those quarterbacks, think of it just taking a little bit more to get him there. And even so, that dude decided to enter the NFL draft, which, I think is kind of puzzling. Because I've always told the kiddos, if you can make money in college football, you should do it because the NFL is going to be there. Take this money right now, have a great time, right, playing on a team that's real good, and then you get to put that money into an index fund, put that money into a savings account, and then go try to make your living in the NFL. Whatever you can do to stack your bread, dog. Stack your bread, get this money, okay? However, in the case of Cam Ward, that's not a day one NFL quarterback right now. Now, he blows up the combine. Yeah, he could work his way up into being drafted among the first 32 picks. But right now, it's a dude that puts the ball on the ground and throws the ball to the other team as much as he goes for 400 yards. Like, the thing to remember is, over the last 4 years, Cam Ward has fumbled the football 46 times, according to Pro Football Focus. 46 times. It is a dude that's thrown at least 7 picks in each of the last 3 years. Okay? It's feast or famine with that dude. And if you can fix his ball security issues, his talent is all there. He can run, he can throw. He's going to be a great quarterback if he can get those turnovers under control. I think he's got those opportunities. Also a guy that took a bunch of sacks. He took 3 sacks or more in all but 2 games in 2023. And there were at least 4 games where he had 4 sacks or more. And if you think that sacks is a quarterback stat, and the more we play the game, the more I think it is, you got to get rid of the football. So it's a project, right? But right now, I slot Cam Ward where I would slot Quinn Ewers, which is about 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round, but not a 1st round quarterback. You're going to be compared to guys like Drake May, like Caleb Williams, like Bo Nix, like Michael Penix Jr. Can you convince an NFL team that you are a better quarterback than those guys? I don't know. But he's going to have 4 months to work that out. And you know what? Dude graduated, so let him do whatever the hell he wants to do. But I always thought it was interesting that people would say, hey, kids want to go into the portal because they think they're going to make some money. Well, it turns out kids still want to go play in the NFL. Like, I'm sure Ohio State would have come up out of its pockets to keep Marvin Harrison Jr. at Ohio State. But that dude wants to go play in the NFL, and I don't blame them, right? It is the highest form of football that we have, and it beats the hell out of going to class. Always will. And as soon as you can get a job, I say, you don't need to be going to college anymore. You got a job, right? Meanwhile, talking about getting a job, Texas quarterback Maalik Murphy chose to transfer to Duke. I don't know that there's a better place for you to secure your job prospects, young man. I don't know that you're going to win no championships at Duke, especially when Manny Diaz is your head coach and trying to figure out in year 1, not that Manny Diaz is a bad coach, but you get my point here, okay? It's Duke. I probably would have chosen to go somewhere else. But you know what? Given what Riley Leonard was able to do at Duke, maybe you think that you can do better. Now, he also had Mike Elko, who turns out to be that dude that could win at Duke, and that is no easy thing. and now he's at A&M. I always thought that Maalik Murphy would get looks from places like Washington, right, where we've seen other guys go, right? We have seen really great things happen at places like LSU with transfer quarterbacks. And I thought, yeah, okay, those are places he could go, but he chose to go to Duke and commit there pretty early, pretty often. I think he's going to be fun to watch, but I also think that conference is going to be fun to watch because they're going to add a couple of teams from the Pac-12 in Stanford, in Cal, in SMU, and then we'll see. But it was kind of puzzling to me. What was not as puzzling to me, though, with one Maalik Murphy choosing to go to Duke, is what Trevor Etienne decided to do. Now, we brought these names up, right, in Maalik Murphy and decision to really transfer before the college football playoff because he had to. That's what the calendar does. Another reason to kind of move the transfer portal window around. The thing about Trevor Etienne was he played at Florida. So when you go to Florida and you choose to transfer to Georgia, holy smokes. I used to think that nobody would do this, right? And I guess that's my own naivete, and I'm not usually that guy. But choosing to transfer from one rival school to another has become kind of the thing. Like Brendan Thompson did this at Oklahoma. He transferred from Texas to Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? We saw Trace Ford transfer from Oklahoma State to Oklahoma. And now we've seen the best tailback at Florida transfer to the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm curious as to see how this year goes for him. Not just because I think that Trevor Etienne is a really great talent and they love to run the football at Georgia. Look at what Dajan Edwards and Kendall Milton had done just this year. But that's going to be a backfield that people forgot has Branson Robinson in it. And I knew the dude blew out his knee in August. But if you've ever seen photos of Branson Robinson, you understand what I'm saying when I say he is the biggest, strongest, most physical back that we have seen play college football since Derrick Henry. So you're going to have thunder with Branson Robinson and lightning in Trevor Etienne and Carson Beck coming back. I don't know that anybody's going to want it with them Georgia Bulldogs, but ain't nobody wanted it with them Georgia Bulldogs for the better part of 3 years. And Alabama is the only team to beat them in the last couple of years. I think Trevor Etienne just made a strong football team that much stronger. If you like what you've seen, consider subscribing to the #1 college football show on YouTube, the Fox Sports app, or wherever you get your podcast.